Hey everybody, it's Erin Reed, and today I'm going to start practicing. I've actually practiced a little bit about brush lettering. So it's taking a calligraphy pen, any type of pen that you might have, and starting to practice getting better at your handwriting, of which I never do a whole lot of handwriting on my stuff because I think it sucks. And I ran into Tanya, who's got this worksheet. She's the one to put this stuff together. It's called Basic Brush Lettering with Tanya. And I ran into her at a conference, and she was working with Crayola, and she had like you go in and she was showing how to work with these pens, and it was really fun. And then she contacted me after and said, would you, because I made a comment about how I adore her handwriting and I always think it looks so pretty, blah, 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 blah. She's like, well, would you want to try these sheets? I was like, well, the heck yeah. So if you want to get these sheets, the link's going to be down below for where you can find it. The cool thing about the sheets is that it's got tons and tons and tons of drills on here. So it's getting the basics, and that's why I started practicing. So I'm going to do a little bit with that. It also gets into doing some letters. So I actually pulled out the letters that would be in my name so I could practice writing my name nicely, which I thought would be kind of fun. So I picked out the ERIN. I also picked out some blank sheets. So the fun thing about doing this is that you do not have to, so this all came from this set right here. This is basic brush lettering. You do not have to print out the entire thing. It's a PDF file, so you can pick and choose what sheets you want to do. You don't have to print the whole thing off. You could also, if you just want to practice doing your E a whole bunch of times, you can print off 5 sheets of just E. You know, if you just want to practice doing the drills, which is the basic shapes and all that kind of stuff, starting off with some very, very basic stuff, you could do that as well. And then she's got some videos that go along with it. And then over here, it's more kind of, there's 3 different files that you can get. And so it's practicing some more shapes, just like we had. Like this one, you're actually tracing along. But I like the idea that I'm not having to trace over here. So it's getting, because you're not going to be tracing as you go along. And then, you know, getting into some other fun shapes. So you're going to practice with a little bit, and then you do it on your own. And then it's getting into the letters. And the cool thing about some of these letters is you don't always, for instance, for the letter B, it actually has 2 different parts. You don't write it like you do when you do script writing or when you're printing. So doing calligraphy writing with a calligraphy pen, and I'll talk to you about the pen in a second, is different in the way that you form your letters. And the key thing I saw from all the videos that she has is go slow. Do not go fast, go slow. And that is the #1. So over here, again, it's a whole bunch of practice of the letters, and it takes you through like how to put the 2 pieces together. And then it's got some words that you can do and some bigger words and, you know, some other options. So the pen that you want to use, and this was her key thing showing me, when you get a pen, you want to pick a pen that's got a nice short nub. It's going to be a calligraphy pen. This one happens to be a Tombow one. It says WSBH calligraphy pen, and it's got a nice short nub, so you can go nice and small, but you can come down hard. That's what I figured out. Going up is tiny, and down you push hard. Another one that I was playing with was a Sharpie pen. This is also a calligraphy pen. It's got a very small nib, so you can go up and down. This one I feel is a little softer. There's some other pens that are out there, and she said specifically, for instance, these ones that have really big brushes, those are not good for beginners, is what Tanya was telling me. It's just harder for you to get a control. Now, I've played a little bit, so I feel like I could probably maybe move into that spectrum, but I'm not there yet. I'm still going to stick with my small brush. So just to kind of show you a comparison of the size of the brush I'm talking about. You see the difference in the nib size? So the one that's red is a really big brush. And they're fine, I think, when you get a little bit better at doing it. But to begin with, you want to start with a small one. So I raided through my stash, and I actually found a couple of these pens. So I found one from Sharpie and then another one from Tombow that are specifically catered for doing this. So playing with them, I like the Tombow one a little bit better. The Sharpie one, the brush is a little more flexible. I can also get a fatter line with it, though. So I think it also is once you kind of get the feel for what you're doing, what's your personal preference? And right now, I'm going to go with this one. So basic premise, and I am not an expert. I mean, that's why I got sent these sheets, is because I got to learn. But I've gotten better. I will have to say that I've gone from, the only thing I knew is when you go up, it's super, super, super light. So you just go light. And everything's on a little bit of a slant, I noticed. Now, I'm right-handed, so the way that you would do it if you were right-handed is just, you know, kind of follow along. Tanya, on the other hand, is left-handed, so she gives some tips in her videos about how to do things left-handed, which I think is kind of fun. So upstrokes are always light. Downstrokes are heavy, just like this, see? Heavy. Look at that. And so you kind of hold your pen, this is how I do it, on an angle with the right hand, and you push down to get that. And I'm just following along. I mean, she's got it shaded in. One of the things she also suggested, Tanya, when we were going back and forth, is she said that you could put tracing paper over top. Therefore, you're not having to reprint off sheets all the time. So you could just put tracing paper and you go over your tracing paper. It will also save your pen. I don't have tracing paper, otherwise I probably would have taken her up on that idea. But there you go. All right, you're not just going to be doing straight lines just on their own. You are also going to be doing like curves and stuff. So you got to practice going up and then coming down hard. So going up, you know, and this is one of those things that if you were going on an airplane or if you were, see, I'm actually probably going a little too fast. But if you're traveling, you could easily take some of these sheets and a couple of pens and just practice. As long as you have a nice flat surface and it's not bumpy, I think it would be good. So here's another one. Oh, I forgot to do this one. This is going the other way. So this is going hard and coming up soft. And I have a hard time with this one. Hard down and come up soft. I always look like V's instead of U's. So it's when you go down, it's the big stroke. Coming up, it's the fine stroke. Just like that. So in order to get that brush to give you that big fat, you can't hold your brush up, because if I go down, I'm not going to get the big, you have to kind of hold it at that angle and then come up light in order to get that nice fat stroke. And it's just the pressure with your hand. And I'm still, this is where I screw up, is that coming up, I can't get the right pressure. So I've got to practice. That is the bottom line. I've got to practice. Yeah, that's a better one. And I've also got to practice that I need to release the pressure earlier. I keep making V's instead of U's. I can't quite get that curve going. So then you can start going into this. So it's up and then down. See, and it's when I come out of a downstroke is when I have a hard time. If I start going up light, then I'm good. That's not too bad. That was actually somewhat better than the other ones. See, this is where I use the Sharpie pen. So you can see the difference in the way that the lines are on some of these because I'm using a different pen. Up, down, up. It's kind of very therapeutic doing this. It's kind of fun. Down, up. And then you can get into doing some little ones. So it's like up, down, up, down. And again, I'm probably going too fast. Up, down, hard. Up, down, hard. And up. That's not bad. See, I was kind of screwing up there. This is, I think I also like this pen better because if I'm doing smaller letters, I feel like I'm getting a bigger distinction. With the Sharpie pen, it's so fat there that it was hard to see my loops and stuff. So I feel like I'm getting a little bit better. Like it looks cleaner because I have a smaller pen, which I think is what she was commenting on also with the big giant Tombow pens. With these guys is because the brush, and I'm just going to try one, because the brush is so big, it's hard. Yeah, see, look at that. It's hard to get a distinction because the brush wants to, for certain things, like this is fine, and you know, to practice going up, but as soon as I try and get into it, I don't see as much of a distinction. My hand is not ready for that kind of a pen yet. So then you can also do circles. See, coming up with that downstroke, I have a hard time. Really got it. Get in there. Oh, that's better. Some of those earlier O's look better. And you're also more self-critiquing on your own things. Oh, that looked horrible. I gotta work on my O's. I like the L's though. The L's are fun. You go up and then brush down. I like the L's. Certain letters I have found, there we go, are much easier. I like that. The other one I loved doing was the F. I thought the F was fun. How you can come up and then down. To me, that seemed really easy. It flowed to me. Like it made sense. Whereas the E's were another one that I was having a hard time with. Up. See, I don't want to change my pressure here. And I got to remember to change my pressure. But then you can go into the E to the L's. I got to go light again. And I'm going too fast again. I know that. Up and then down. That wasn't too bad. And then there's, oh, these were the hardest. Okay, so then you're going into just practicing. And I want to get in and rush, and I can't. It's not too bad. I think my downstrokes need to be bigger, though. They need to be more, there we go, more pronounced. Oh, this is a long one. Now I'm going to do an E. Ooh, my hand hurts. I will notice that because I'm forcing and pushing, my hand gets a little tired, but I think that that would probably get better as I do it. J's are kind of hard. My hand is just not used to doing this. See, I can't get that upstroke to be nice and fine. The big key thing I have noticed to making this look good is one, proportion, and two, the better your big fat lines look and the skinnier your skinny lines look and nice and even, that's what makes it look good. So then you can kind of get into what like an R would look like. So my big fat lines I feel are good. It's my skinny lines that I'm having a problem with. And coming out of that pressure change. And that's what these drills are meant for. So then you can go into doing a few. See, I'm not holding it right again. If I try and go too far up and down, I screw it up. There it is. Yeah, see, those look better than that one. And then these guys, holy crap, these were hard. And maybe I'm doing them wrong because I'm going the wrong way. There we go. Up, light, down, up, light. Ah, see, I was doing them backwards. Start from here. I'm going to go down, come up, light, down, up, light. Whew, my hand's getting tired. All right, so then I got into letters. I'm not going to bore you with letters. But I am going to show you a couple things. So it's a lot of, you know, where do you want to go with it? What do you want to learn how to do? And so, again, more drills and practice. These ones, I don't have a thing to follow, so I have to do it on my own. So you have to come in. And I love the fact that she's done it on the dotted line because it really gives you the idea of going back to school and learning how to write your letters. Oh, see, I screwed that up. Light up, hard down. And oops, yeah, light up, hard down. There we go. Light up. You get lost in doing it, I think. You get sucked into doing it. And all the same letters we practiced before. Now here it is again with the shadow, and then here it is on your own. Practicing it on your own. And then it's getting into the letters. And this is what I think is super helpful. Because, for instance, when you're doing a D, it's showing you first that you're going to go like you do this part first. Oh, I already did it wrong. And you come up. And then you come in and it connects. See? You don't write the D like we normally think, like that. You do it as two pieces. And I really should have continued this up. And you can kind of go back and fix it. I have seen when she does some of her letterings that she'll kind of come in and tweak a little bit. But there is a pattern. So for instance, like the G. So you start off here. I'm not doing the right angle. And you come up, and then you come in. Hey, that looked pretty darn good. So it's practicing and kind of rethinking. Don't think like you write like you normally do. You got to think differently. The B is another one that's pretty interesting. So you're starting off doing the L. So this is where all those drills come into practice. And then you do this fun one. It's a little loop-de-loop. That's not too bad. So you're going to come in. There we go. And then a little whoop. Oh, and then you can have fun. You can go in. You know, I've seen her doing some like these big fun twirls where she'll come in after this and, you know, add fanciness to the end of it. So it's just, it's fun. Then here's a way to practice without using the tracing. A K is another one where there's two parts. Again, you have the big top loop, and then there's this little guy. Oh, this is gonna be hard. Okay, so a little loop and down, and a little whoop. Ooh, that's kind of fun. It gets into like, I don't know, it's like artistry a little bit. So there's all these cool letters. Some of them are pretty straightforward. I mean, like an S, a T, that's easy. And it's just, you're gonna come in, you do a swoop, and then down and up, and then a little whoop. That's kind of easy. Some letters are definitely easier than others to do. Ooh, the Z looks fun. So the Z, you can come in and then see, it's just fun. It's bottom line. So then you can get in doing words. And one of the words I want to practice doing, because I have an idea for a project I want to do. I'm not ready to like write out anything super fancy long, is I want to learn how to write love. So here's my practice for my word love. So now I can come in with maybe some of my bottom words down here, my empty spaces, and practice doing the word love. So I know, like for instance, I'm just going to trace this, is I'm going to come up and do the L. And I'm going to stop for a second. Then I come in. Well, I got to come up. And then I do my O. Come in for my V, and then I do, oops, and I screwed up at the end of the E, but other than that, it actually looks pretty darn good. That's not too bad, and that's about the size that I want to write it into. So I got to practice a lot of loves before I get to my next project. So this is a really cool set if you want to learn how to make your handwriting better and to learn how to do brush lettering with the calligraphy pens. These are really fun. So a fine nib is definitely best. Don't forget to go check out Tanya's site where you can get these sheets. They are really fun. It's definitely, and once you get the sheets, they're yours to print off as much as you want, which is cool. There's 3 different sets that you can get. They have the websites, that way you can go and check out what she said. But I mean, it's kind of cool. And I think my handwriting has gotten better by practicing and just doing basic shapes. And it's the thing is that I think before, because this is just me, I'm not used to writing right yet, is I think before I would go in and practice doing certain words is, I love that R, isn't that fun? That looks so fun. I will definitely go in and drill myself a few times before I do it for real on a page. So I have a feeling I'm going to be doing lots of loves on here before I do my little project that's coming. It's coming. Links to how to get these pages are down below. Thanks so much for stopping by. I will also see if I can find a link for this fun pen and the other kinds of pens that you can use. And please subscribe, and I'll see you guys again later. Bye-bye.